All right, I'm back. Let's get it. Let's waste no time. This one's called what? Dawn of the Gods. Dawn of the Gods. Get it? A flash of light crossed the silence of the beginning, and lit, and he divided the world. The sky, enchanted by the sight, from moment on realized there was also something bright and hot held in his arms. Was it a byproduct of creation? Was it an embodiment of his worldly desires and passions? He did not know exactly what it was, but it seemed evident that it would get in the way of his goals. What was abandoned by the sky fell upon the land, lighting up the darkness, giving warmth to the cold earth, and became the dawn of this world. One last god, Kubera, story art by Kurigam, side story 17, Dawn of the Gods. Interesting. We're getting that like that. This is like beginning of like video game lore, like art JRPG, like in the land of Valencia. When the primordial tears fell to the earth and created the sea type beat. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. While the human race of the beginning settled the lands, and many of the created gods born from their development started to gain their sense of self, the dawn existed in a very young form, making little progress in developing to that state. Why can Usha still not speak properly? I heard she was born much earlier than I was. Isn't she a natural god? Isn't she a natural god when her jurisdiction is done? I don't think she would have been born young like us too. I wonder if this is related to why Indra was so mad, like she got reverted to this. I wonder if this is all gonna come full circle. Chandra, do you know anything? There's Ratri. I wonder, I do have a guess, but the darkness of this world had heard from the wind and earth the other day and had an inkling. The darkness of this world. That's so crazy. It's like calling them by their, oh no, it's moving me, it's moving me. And decided to sound the sky out regarding his intention towards the situation. Indra, if by some possibility the power of Dawn is currently with someone else, then we need to kill that bastard and get the power back, says Indra. I wonder. Somehow, I want to say this related to Maruna, but let me hold my tongue. What is there really a bastard like that? Somehow she turned out much too weak for my Dawn of the Sky. No, I was talking about hypotheticals. How could there be anyone with a higher priority for Dawn than Usha's, right? By any chance, do you have any plans to visit the top again? Huh, why? No, I feel comfy now. Perfect. No discomfort at all. You may feel comfortable, but those around you, why should I be interfered with when making decisions about myself? You see that? He talking. Hold on, he talking. Let me move Brillo this a little bit. I know Webtoon's kind of on our ass right now, so just be bear with me. I'm gonna figure this out. Of course, that's your own right. You have to take responsibility for the mindset you created. Like that. Don't make excuses blaming the top or regret your actions even in the future. The word we chose to translate was as mindset, given as with the hand some temperament, nature, disposition. Okay. Right back at you. Don't regret not doing as I did earlier. A little more time had passed since then. The young Dawn was treated as younger siblings by the created gods, then as a daughter when the gap between them kept widening. At the place the created gods have left bothered, the only one who remained was the night of this world, night and dawn. Aw. Perhaps due to their close origins, she endured even the tiresome and annoying work in a calm manner. Sometimes, when the night had other things to tend to, the surrounding gods used to take care of Dawn for her. There's Indra. Although she was young, she was an important god, so she was often entrusted to the care of higher gods. In the beginning, she was often entrusted in the care of the sky. There's Indra getting kicked with her throwing a little temper tantrum. Although the Dawn initially liked the sky, she began to cry and dislike him for some reason. So there was no choice but to pass her around between the different gods until she could be returned to the night. That's Surya, right? I believe. That's not Verona, I think so. Yeah. One day in that seemingly endless period of parenting, Dawn cried, wanting to see fire, but Three forces that created her in the beginning were skylight and fire, but among those she had never seen fire. Fire, who couldn't extinguish his heat after that flash of beginning, was confined in hell. And if one wanted to see him, they had to get past death, who guarded him. You can't see Agni. I see my goat. Yes, sir. Look at young Yama. Yo, please look at him. Hold on. Look at him. He's beautiful. Oh my goodness. That's the greatest of God, bro. You gotta put respect on his name. We can't even go in for a second and see him. Wait, sorry. We can't leave. We can't leave here. He can't leave here until Vishnu says it's okay. Blah blah. You will melt just meeting his eyes though. Sigh. There's nothing we can do. Let's go back, Ushas. Let's walk back. This kid. It seems you struck her fancy this time. If you ignore her now, she will literally cry endlessly. Could you please take care of her? It is just a passing whim of hers anyway. I'm busy. Well, if only for a moment. It was not only for a moment. When night came back, Don didn't want to be separated from death either. Usha, what's good with you? What's good with you, sis? Even after they had partly parted, she often came to visit him. The night knew that death was busy, so she tried not to bring Don to him if possible. But when that happened, the Don left for the underworld all by herself with that toddler body of hers. Every time, the Don who got caught by the attendants would smile brightly and wave her hands at him. Death let out a sigh, but did not send her away. Even if the attendants offered to take care of her, he said it was okay. I swear to, I tell you guys, me and Yam are the same, bro. We're kindred spirits, bro. Like that's like a just leave her. It's okay. I'll deal with it. Like yo, this is moving me. And the piles of work with Don in one hand. One day when fire had cooled his head and was finally released from hell. What's up, Yama? The Don was interested in him for a while, but oh, did I get married? Is that Billith, his betrothed or whatever? It didn't take long for her to lose interest, and she returned to death again. That's interesting. He can't escape. He's like, bro, I got paperwork to do. Young paperwork. We got shit to do today, man. How come you like and visit a god who does nothing but work like this? Bored, bored. If you're bored, go to the other gods. Yama bored. I'm not bored because of you. Giggle. Whether or not she knew the gravity of things piled up in front of them, the the Don simply smiled and acted cute, making Death smile every time his expression darkened. And then on the day of an incredibly huge amount of lives were lost, incomparable to anything that had happened so far, the work of death overflowed. Then Sky came to meet death. The betrothed of fire kept doing things from kept things from being done, and since death had officiated the betrothal, he asked him to break it off. He declined, stating that the breaking of a betrothal was a matter to be decided between the two parties involved, but Sky was unrelenting. And just when a fight was about to break out, the Don stopped and head on. Huh? Ushas, when did you don't disturb our Yama's work? There seems to be a misunderstanding. I have no intention of hurting Yama. There's a lot of work to be done right now. Of course, Yama should work. But that simple manner of breaking Agni's betrothal, do not disturb our Agni either. But I'm not. Rather than Rather, that betrothal is disturbing the universe. It has to be broken. Indra, why are you so ugly? Talk to that ninja. So ugly. I know the most bored god here is you, but I won't play with someone so ugly. The Don, who had suddenly grown up, said words that didn't match her appearance and disappeared. Death explained that Don had suddenly grown up not too long ago, and so she still had a childish side to her. But it already seemed those words no longer reached the sky. An ugly god. Yes, indeed. Terribly ugly. I read that wrong, but anyway, it took quite a time before Dawn approached the sky again towards the Dawn, who only reached out a hand to reconcile half from her own will, half from the pressure of the other gods. The sky just smiled and casually said this: the reason your apology has been dumped at the top, and That's how it will be in the future as well. And so you go on and mock, blame, and you criticize me as you wish. There must be such a voice in the corner of the sky, and so Don became the only god who could hurt the sky and still always be granted forgiveness. Opinions were divided on what reason for the sky acted. So I'm sorry, I read that wrong. How the sky acted. Some who guessed his thoughts kept their mouths shut, and the story that spread like a scandal for a while after there was no progress between the sky and the dawn, even over a period of time, all but faded away. The dawn of the gods next in my delusions. The two young created gods that appear in the beginning are Maruth and Asfin. That's very interesting. Okay. Big Bang. I don't want to spoil such an emotional interpretation, but whether she's Indra's conscience or a daughter born from his heart, there were a number of people who gave me serious questions in secret comments, so I will answer them. If you want to keep that emotional interpretation, skip the following paragraph. I want to know, mother. The intro in the beginning shows the phenomenon of dawn occurring, created by sky plus light plus fire, the attributes of Ushas. Ushas, as the god presiding over dawn, was created by the primeval gods and also named by primeval gods. Dawn is a concept that only comes after the formation of planets and stars. So why is she a natural god? Isn't she a created god? Some of you asked that, but there are many other dimensions in the world of Kubera, not just the human realm. For example, the god realm is not a sphere and neither rotates or orbits, but there are day, night, and dawn. The natural gods know. Ushas is a natural god, so she was not young right from her creation. However, she grew younger as Maruna arrived during the wait of time, and only regained her original form as Maruna left to the other side of the story chapter. This story takes place in between. Okay, and she became young again since she saved the Runa in the Anata chapter. Opa is getting married. Just as many of you thought, Usha lost interest in acting because he had his betrothed by his side. Usha felt that he didn't need her by her side anymore. Surprisingly, there were some people who came up with the interpretation that she did not like the betrothal or even that she was jealous. Ah, she's laughing. But Usha's opposing the breaking of the betrothal when Indra arrived at the end means she didn't harbor negative thoughts about it, right? I agree. There are some explanations in this review in this episode. LOL, I wanted to say something funny, but worked so hard to explain that I forgot. What was I trying to talk about? Oh, I'm on vacation next week. There won't be a side story disguised as hiatus. Really nothing at all. In the fast pass, all parts of In My Delusions are out, and with that, the side stories are over. Originally, I was going to restart the main story right after the side story is over, but even if there are side stories, there are things I have to pay attention every week. I don't think I had one neat week break. Bob, just, yeah, go ahead and rest, man. Rest, Queen. Go ahead. Why not rest? We gonna talk. We gonna talk. This was good. This was good. The Dawn, baby. Patreon gang. Shout out to the Patreon gang. Yes, sir. Shout out to my certified BAM lovers. You know, I appreciate y'all deeply. Gotta give a big shout out to the Priest of Fire. That's the real CBL Brilliant gang. You already know what it is, but especially gonna give a huge thank you to my tier 3s, the 5th Zen Gods. Shout out to Zodiac, Sonny Katapali, Simi, Silo, Shoddy to Your Body, Scobe, Revenant, Lucky Roo, Lazy Dragon, Chris, Johnny Rogers, Jacob Holland, Irene Sharda, Fitz, Triss, and my boy Abdel. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you.